Hello! In this lesson, we're gonna continue with equations. In the next set of equations, we only have one operation, either multiplication or division. These are specific together because one is the inverse operation of the other. How can we undo our operations in this set of equations? Hopefully, you have already downloaded the file, check the link below, solve it before, and if you can't, we could solve together. Let's check our first equation. 3x equals 15. Do you remember that in between the coefficient 3 and the variable part x, there is invisible multiplication. There is a small dot in there, invisible multiplication. 3 times a number x equals 15. Probably already guessed what is the answer, but we're gonna solve showing the step, preparing for harder questions in the future. So if you multiply by 3, the inverse operation is divided by 3. So let's divide both sides by 3. Going to do a little vertical method in here, but you can also do horizontal. Remember that when we have a term 3x, we divide numbers with the numbers. In this case, the coefficient only 3 will be divided by 3. You already know that 3 divided by 3 is 1. I also say that cancel it out. So that means it's going to be 1x. And you already know by the previous topics expressions that 1x is the same as x. So there's no need to write 1. You can write straight up x. If you want, since it's the first equation, you can also write 1x. But x by itself is pretty good. And then on the other side, 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that is my answer, x equals 5. Let's move to equation number 2. 5y equals minus 45. Again, 5 times y, the inverse operation of multiplying by 5 would be dividing by 5, divided both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we have 1y, or just y, and on the right hand side we have a negative number divided by positive. My answer is negative. 45 divided by 5 is 9, so y is negative 9. Next, 2 times z equals 8. The inverse of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So let's divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1z, or just z. That is my left hand side. Now let's calculate the right hand side. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And that is my answer. Moving on. 4a equals 28. The inverse operation of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. So let's divide both sides of my equation by 4. 4 divided by 4, easy. 1. So this is going to be just a, 1a. And 28 divided by 4, if you prefer to divide by 2, it's like dividing by 2 and by 2 again. Could we try? 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then 14 divided by 2 is 7. You can think of fractions and reducing. Next equation, 4 times f equals negative 20. You guessed, 4 times, the inverse operation is dividing by 4. Let's divide by 4, both sides of my equation. Equals, under the equals, 4 divided by 4 is 1, they cancel it out here, only f is left. And then the right hand side, a negative answer, negative divided by positive is negative, 20 divided by 4 is 5. My answer is negative 5. Next equation, interesting, we have a negative 7 times g equals 8. The inverse operation is, in this case, you really need to think that we're focused on multiplication. And my coefficient is a negative 7. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 7, the entire coefficient. Don't think in here that I'm adding or subtracting. Common mistake. Think about multiplying. That's what we are undoing in here. But we need to divide both sides by negative 7. Left hand side, negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. So g is left equals And on the right hand side, positive number divided by negative is also negative. 28 divided by 7 is 4. My answer is negative 4. Next, negative 8 times h is equal to negative 24. If you do the inverse operation, dividing by negative 8 divided by negative 8, what we got? In one side, they cancel it out, equals under the equal, h is negative number divided by negative becomes positive. Pay attention. And in our multiplication table of 8, we found that 3 times 8 is 24, and that is my answer, positive 3. Could we move it on? Negative 2x equals 14. So negative 2 times x is 14. Inverse operation, dividing by 2 in both sides of my equation. Equals under the equal, negative 2, cross it out with negative 2, x is left, and then 14 divided by a negative number, negative, answer is 7, so negative 7. We are quite fast now. Time to move on a little bit of so many multiplications. Let's do a little bit division. So this symbol you see here is also division. It's a fraction symbol. It's a quotient, and that's the word for quotient. So b divided by 6 or b over 6 is equal to 2. You guys are ready? We need to do the inverse operation. If you divide it by 6, we're going to multiply by the same amount. So let's multiply by 6 in both sides of my equation. So 6 times b is 6b. 6b divided by 6, we already know that we're going to divide number with number. So maybe I do 2 steps in here and then we can do it fast. 6b divided by 6 is equals to 2 times 6, 12. But from the previous examples, we already know that 6 divided by 6, they cross it out, so it's 1. And we didn't expect less since we're doing the inverse operation. Exactly for that, to have only b left in here. So b is 12. That is my answer. Next exercise, we're going to do a bit faster because we already know that we aren't doing the same thing. So c over 7 is 7. The inverse operation of dividing by 7 is multiplying by 7. So let's multiply both sides of my equation by 7. And we just learned that 7 and the other 7, they're gonna cross it out. Multiply something by 7 and divide by 7. Inverse operation. Only c is left, only my variable is left. 7 times 7 is 49. Moving on. d divided by 8 is 4. You guessed, multiplying by 8. Inverse operation of dividing is multiplying. Let's multiply both sides of my equation by 8. 8, cross it out with the other 8. The division becomes 1. 1 times d is just d is equal. 4 times 8 makes 32. Next, e over 2 equals to 9. So let's multiply both sides by 2. 2 and the other 2, cross it out. We have e equals 9 times 2, 18. And that is my answer. Now the last equation. Y divided by 4 is equals to negative 3. The inverse operation of dividing by 4, multiplying by 4. So let's multiply both sides of my equation by 4. 4 and the other 4, they're gonna cross it out, cancel it out. Y is equals to negative number multiplied by positive, gonna be negative. 3 times 4 makes 12. And that is my final equation. I hope you enjoyed this video and I see you in the next one.